Well, I just watched The Acolyte episode 4 and wanted to talk about it a minute because one of the things I wanted to do was add some movie reviews to this channel. And because I really enjoy watching movies, I like watching stuff you may have never heard of before, scrolling through streaming services and whatnot and finding some weird horror movie you never heard of or some B movie. And sometimes you find some pretty good stuff out there. So I thought maybe I'll start talking about that, maybe try to grow the channel a little bit. And so I thought, well, the first thing I'd like to talk about, I guess, would be Star Wars. It's my favorite franchise. Uh, I go way back. I was in elementary school. When the first Star Wars came out in 1977, and it was a phenomenon. I mean, if you weren't around back then, if some of you younger folks that've only seen it, you weren't there when it was new. It was an amazing time to go to the movies because the graphics and everything were just so far beyond anything you had seen at that time. I mean, before that, if you've seen a spaceship flying through space, you could almost see the strings on the ship, kind of jerking it through the set there. And Star Wars kind of took everything to a whole new level. And I can remember, there was times, I've seen it several times when I was a kid, just going to the movie theater, paying my $2.50. And there were times that we actually got turned away because it was sold out. You had to come back later or another day even. So that's, I'm an original guy. Had all the toys. I still have some of them. If you look under my bed right now, there's a Darth Vader carrying case for the action figures. I think there's a few action figures still in it. I was in the attic one day and there was I think my AT-AT Walker was up there and a Millennium Falcon. And no, it's not worth anything. It's been played with way too much and it's not in pristine condition. But, so anyway, you know, I saw the original trilogy, and then when I heard the prequels were being made, of course, I was very excited. I was a little disappointed because I would have rather George Lucas had made 7, 8, 9 rather than 1, 2, and 3. But for some reason or another, he went back in time instead of forward, and that was his choice. But I have to say, I'm not one of those guys that hates on the prequels. I actually liked them. I thought the second one was a little slow at times and kind of drug on, but it ended on a bang, and there were some good moments in it. I would have liked to see more Darth Maul throughout the whole series, but you know, but all in all, I enjoyed it. Relied a little heavily on the CGI. I think you could, a lot of it was green screen shot and all that, but it was still good. I enjoyed it. And then, of course, everything went silent for a while, and then we found out that Disney was buying Star Wars for like what, $4 billion, and they were going to come out. They were going to make the new trilogy, 7, 8, and 9. They were going to make live action TV. They were going to make just everything. New animated series. I mean, they were just going to take off and make all these other standalone movies, and had all these plans. And so I was through the roof. I was very excited. And so before we get to the Acolyte, I thought, well, let's look at Disney Star Wars as a whole. Have they done this franchise justice? Have they ruined it? What's your thoughts? There's people all over the place on this. A lot of people feel like, a lot of the hardcore fans feel like Disney has basically ruined Star Wars. I'm not that guy. I've liked some stuff. I've not liked some stuff. I'm kind of in between, I guess. When The Force Awakens came out, I was there, the night, the first showing. As soon as it was out, I was in line, boom, bought my ticket, watched it. And they had done the graphics that had gone even so much better. Those scenes where the spaceships are flying, I mean, it looks real almost. I mean, it just looks amazing. There's that one scene where those X-Wings are coming in, and they're flying over that lake, and the water's kicking up under them and everything. I mean, it just looks so cool. And the acting in it was good. I thought, it was a good movie. But then when I thought about it, I was like, The Force Awakens, that was basically A New Hope just redone. I mean, if you think about it, they're hiding plans in a droid. You got the big giant Death Star planet super weapon floating around out there that can blow up a planet in one shot. And then at the end, you got the rebel base is in their sights, and they're getting ready to shoot. And they're going to push the button. They're going to fire it, but right before it happens, boom! It blows up. We blow it up. So it had a lot of the similar plot lines to the original Star Wars, but still, it was a lot of fun, and I enjoyed it. And then we got Rogue One, standalone movie, takes place between episodes 3 and 4, and it was an excellent movie. I thought it was amazing. I caught the tail end of it the other day. I was just flipping through channels like a Saturday afternoon, and it was on TNT, and I caught the last 45 minutes of it, where it's a big, they're shooting it out and they're trying to take the shield down and, trying to get the plans up to the rebels, and then Darth Vader comes in and starts wiping everybody out. Just, totally Jedi John Wick style. I mean, I thought Rogue One was an excellent movie. So for me, first two movies, they were 2 for 2 as far as I'm concerned. But then we got The Last Jedi. And that's where things took a turn for me and for a lot of people. You got the Skywalker saga, and Luke Skywalker's not in the thing. Luke Skywalker is in the whole 3 movies, maybe 15 minutes. They kill him off in the second movie. I mean, that to me was just dumb. Like, well, who does that? Your main character, you kill him off. We came in, a lot of us old school guys, I'm sure, we went into the second movie thinking, okay, it's going to be Luke, Rey, lightsabers, slicing and dicing. There's going to be some blasters. There's going to be some, TIE fighters getting shot down. It's going to be amazing, right? And they killed Luke Skywalker. I don't know how else to say it. You just don't do that. So J.J. Abrams made 7. Rian Johnson made 8. Destroyed the franchise at that moment for them. And then, of course, then J.J. Abrams has to come back and try to fix everything in the episode 9. But after 8, which was released in December of that year, and then the following May, we got Solo, the Han Solo standalone movie. And a lot of people did not go see that movie and just kind of pooped on it from the beginning because they were so mad about The Last Jedi that they just didn't go. I mean, that movie did. And to me, I watched Solo. I was watching it the other night. And to me, it's a good movie. It's a good origin story. It's fun. It's not a lot of, it's not a real heavy thinker. It's just a good, fun getting movie to watch. But I think its timing of its release, that was its downfall. Last Jedi killed Solo. And so that'll probably prevent them from making another one. And they kind of left us with a cliffhanger. We had Darth Maul at the end. Like, oh, there's Darth Maul. What's going on with that? And we'll probably never know. But anyway, Solo, to me, was a good movie. So far, we're 3 out of 4 I'm pretty happy with. But then we get The Rise of Skywalker at the end. Now, this is where it got tricky because now, J.J. Abrams comes in. He's got to try to fix what went on in the last one because he doesn't really have Luke to work with anymore. And so they bring back Palpatine. I mean, there's no way that was the plan from the beginning because it's an absurd plan. If you remember at the end of Return of the Jedi, Palpatine was thrown down a shaft that you can't even see the bottom of. It was so far down there. And there was a explosion when he hit the bottom. And 5 minutes later, the whole Death Star blew up. So unless somebody was down there with a giant net and caught him when he hit down there, and there was a TIE fighter waiting for him and they chunked him in there and took off, I mean, there's just no way he would have survived that. I don't care who he is, you know. So, you know, it just, there was a huge plot hole there that just, I mean, how did, you know, bringing him back. I mean, I get they kind of had to do something big because they killed off Luke Skywalker. But anyway, I just don't get it. He was in the movie so little, 3 movies, over 7 hours of movies, and he's in it like 15 minutes. Princess Leia was in the last movie more than Luke was in any of them combined, and Carrie Fisher died before the 3rd movie was even made. Now they did do one thing good in the last movie, in that 3rd movie, the Rise of Skywalker, is the way they were able to fit Leia in with the stuff they'd already shot. It looked like she had been, I mean, I would have thought, if I didn't know she had died, I would have thought she had been there and filmed that movie with them. Like, you know, she was just like she had filmed the others. So they did a good job with that. But they killed Luke Skywalker. I don't know what to tell you. That was just a nutty decision. I don't know who came up with that idea, but that was stupid. So anyway, 7, 8, and 9 as a whole, as a trilogy, it just seems like they made each movie independent. It's like, okay, they made 7 without any thought to 8, and then the people came in and made 8 without any thought it was going to happen later, and then they came in and had to pull it all together with 9. It's like it wasn't one continuous story. It's like they kind of wrote each movie and did their best to tie it into the last one. And it just come on, man. I mean, George Lucas had written 1 through 9 way back in the day. There was blueprints there to tie all this together, and instead they just kind of decided to do their own thing with it. And that's what happens sometimes when you do your own thing. You know, sometimes when you're handed a blueprint, use it, you know. So anyway, that's that. So then we got into, you know, I got into the live action TV stuff that was going on, and the first one I recall would be with The Mandalorian. And The Mandalorian was pretty good. You could tell the quality, but it wasn't quite as good as the movies, but it was still pretty good, you know. I know a lot of people talk online, they like the first 2 seasons, but they didn't like the 3rd one. I liked them all pretty much the same, I guess. You know, they were good. You know, they make a 4th season, I'm gonna be there watching it. You know, all in all, a decent series. The Book of Boba Fett, kind of, it was okay. It was good. It was decent. If they make another season, again, I'll watch that one too. But to me, it wasn't as good as The Mandalorian, but it was okay. It was good. You know, it was okay. But it was good. You know. It's like, where do you stand on this? I don't know. It was okay, basically. I liked Boba Fett. When Boba Fett came out, when The Empire Strikes Back, when I was a little kid, I saw the Boba Fett action figure before I even knew who Boba Fett was. I was like, it looks so cool. I was like, who's this guy? This guy's going to be awesome. And so I was excited to get to learn more about him. But I don't know. All in all, it was okay. You know, it wasn't a flop, you know, in my opinion. It was, you know, give it about a 7 out of 10 type thing, 6.5, 7. So 7. 7. I'm not the guy that critiques everything to death. You know, I kind of look at things more on the surface. Like, if I have a good time watching it and I enjoy it, great. If I don't, I don't. You know, it's just, there's some things that just strike my nerve right, and there's some things that just strike my nerve wrong, and I just don't like it. So Boba Fett to me was okay. And we had Andor. Now see, Andor, a lot of people like Andor that hate all the other Disney stuff. And I'll be honest, I thought Andor was boring. It was just a lot of that dude in jail, plotting, planning, putting together parts, keeping his feet off the floor so he don't get electrocuted. I mean, it was. I like the character Cassian because he was, you know, he's Rogue One. we're going back a little bit, and so. But I just thought it was kind of boring. It just didn't really do much for me. Each time I watched the next episode come out, I'm thinking, okay, now there's gonna be some action. I just found it as boring. If I'm misremembering it, let me know. But it just didn't have the action that I thought it would. And it just, like I said, it just kind of bored me. Now, if they come out with another season of it, of course, I'm gonna be there watching. I'm a Star Wars guy. And I'm thinking surely they'll have to pick up the pace now, because at this point he will have to probably join the rebellion, and there's going to have to be a little more, getting after it type stuff at that point. Ahsoka comes along, and some people I've been watching some of the other reviews, and a lot of people didn't seem to really care for Ahsoka that much. I liked Ahsoka. I thought it was pretty decent. The Ahsoka character, she scratches that itch as far as being a good Star Wars character, a Jedi. We get to see Hayden Christensen again, kind of training her and learning more about what went on between them, and there was some good action. The two Sith characters, I forget that guy's name, is Rey something or another, I believe, and then his Padawan Sith, the younger girl. I thought they made a pretty good duo to kind of formidable foes. The bad part about that is that the actor that played the male, I'm horrible with names, I don't remember his name in the movie or in the show, but he died shortly after filming that series. So if they do bring his character back in another season, if there's another season, he won't be able to play the part. So it's too bad, because I thought he did a really good job with it. I bought into him being in that role. But all in all, I liked Ahsoka. I thought it was pretty good. And that brings us to the Acolyte. And boy, has that one lit up the internets. People are hating that show. And I've seen a lot of the reviews, and I know, I hear what they're saying. I know what's going on with it. And, there's a lot of talk about sexuality and racism and all this other stuff. And people that don't like it, there's a kind of hurling insults back. And I'll be honest, not even looking at any of that, it doesn't really matter. Is it a good show? And that's what we got to look at. Is it written well? Is it acted well? Does it look good? Is the story intriguing? And for me, I would have to say the answer is no. After 4 episodes, it's a good premise. Basically, we're 100 years prior to Phantom Menace, and we got somebody's killing Jedi. It's kind of like a murder mystery, it almost sounds like. And so, never had a murder mystery in a Star Wars movie, so that might be a cool idea. Let's go with that. The problem is that we find out who the murderer is immediately into the movie, or into the first episode. So the mystery's gone. Somebody brought up something I was watching today. Where's Yoda? Yoda was like 900 years old when he died. So he would have been alive and doing stuff during this time period. Where's he at? Seems like he'd be involved somehow or another. And he may still come up. We don't know. The season's half over now. I think there's going to be 8 episodes. We're 4 in. And but we're I don't know. He may show up yet. We don't know. But all in all, I would just say the series just seems to be falling a little flat. The acting just doesn't seem to be as good. For the type of budget that the show has, $180 million. It just doesn't look as good, and it's I don't know. It just missing something, and they're doing things in the show that doesn't make any sense. For instance, at the very beginning, the first scene we see where May, Just a minute. Is my wife trying to get in? We see May challenging a Jedi. Let's go. And Jedi, you know. And so May begins to slaughter everybody in the bar, and the Jedi just watches her do it, doesn't intervene. Even the people that were sitting at the table with her, they're dropping like flies left and right. And she doesn't help them. Seems like a Jedi would kind of step in and stop that, you know. They're kind of like the galaxy's bouncers, you know. They can break that up. And then when she starts fighting, when she does fight her, when she taps in finally, seems to be handling her no problem. You know, she, you know, not really much effort. But then she winds up getting killed anyway because she winds up saving the bartender. Now, you didn't worry about the bartender or any of your friends a while ago, but now all of a sudden you're going to save this guy's life. And then while you're distracted, dagger to the heart. Didn't make a lot of sense, but, you know, like I said, I can let some of that stuff go, but it just, stuff like that keeps happening. Because in the next episode, in the next scene, we get a fire burning in outer space. Now, I went to college. I wasn't a chemistry major or science major, but I did take some classes, and I know that fire does not burn in outer space. It's not a place you can just light a campfire. And it was just flames just in the cold vacuum of space. They had a fire burning. Didn't make a lot of sense. Then we get a Jedi who's been in some type of hibernation sleep for 10 years. He wakes up. There's May. Drink this poison. Okay, he dies. I mean, I'm just like, why? He just, I mean, when I saw that, I was like, did I miss something? Like, did she say something to him that triggered him? Like, okay, like, I'm there thinking, he just killed himself. Why? I don't understand why he did that. But he did. So anyway, okay, we're continuing on. And then we get to the witches, and a lot of people are just hating on the witches. And to me in the show, hey, let's see what's up with it. So you got all these women on the planet together, raising two little girls that the head witch and this other witch made by using the Force, or the thread as they call it. And that kind of breaks previous Star Wars canon to think that you could just make somebody with the Force, because then it kind of takes away from the whole Anakin thing. He's not really all that special anymore because it's been done. So they do that. But then they got the Jedi show up. These witches don't want nothing to do with these Jedi, but they come in and they're talking to them. And first they deny, we ain't got any kids here. And then here comes Osha down the thing. Except this one. And so anyway, then there's May too. Okay, yeah. So then the Jedi are like, well, we have authority to test these children. And they're like, well, we're not in the Republic. Well, you still need to test them. With your permission, of course. And then Anastasia, who's the head witch, she's like, all right. Now, that didn't make any sense to me because the Jedi said, with your permission, we're going to test these girls. All they had to do was say, no, get out of here. I mean, according to what was the dialogue that they gave us, that's all she had to say. But she says, no, go ahead. And then she thinks she can get these 8-year-old little girls to fool the Jedi. And of course they didn't. And we find out Osha wants to go with them. And Anastasia's like, well, we'll see, maybe. Like, it was my dog again. it just seems to me like she'd have been like, no, you're not going with them. What are you talking about? No. And, but she looks like she's considering it. And then we get, May finds out. May's not having it. She says, you know what, I'm going to kill you, so you can't go. And she proceeds to burn down a fortress that's made out of rock and stone with a small little fire. She lights a book on fire, and the whole place just goes up like it's a hut on Gilligan's Island. That didn't make any sense to me. And so that was 3, and then I watched 4 tonight. And it just, again, the story just seems lazy. Like, May is going to go find this Wookiee Jedi and kill him. Tanaka, I believe is his name. And she gets there. She's almost to where he is. And is like, you know what? No. I'm going to turn myself in. And I'm going to go join them. I'm going to tell the Jedi what I know. And I'm going to get out of here. I'm done. Like, she just changed her mind out of the blue, just like that. And then she finds Tanaka. And he's dead. He's dead. Lightsaber slash across the middle. And it was just, what? And then the Jedi show up. And then while they're trying to get May to come out, here comes the figure. And my theory this whole time has been is that the secret person in the mask is going to be Anastasia. That's who I thought it was going to be. And from seeing what I saw tonight, I think I'm right. The way the character moved and just the outline, because they showed more of the body this time, you could kind of tell. It looked like Anastasia to me. We'll find out. But just the production of it as she's walking up, it just looked like something somebody had filmed with their iPad or something. Like, it just didn't have that dum dum da dum. It didn't have that feeling like when Darth Vader entered a room. It was like Darth Vader's in the room. This just looked. It just looked like an amateur shot scene. So, I don't know. It is so far the Acolyte is. But I hold out hope. I'm always thinking, okay, I'm gonna watch the next one. Maybe I'm gonna fix some of this stuff. Like I said, I'm not the guy who's gonna hate on it just to hate on it or because of this. I'm trying to look at it. Do I enjoy it? And I mean, I'm watching it. So. But so far the Acolyte is, I would say, the worst of all of them that I've seen so far. But again, I'm that guy that always holds out hope. Come on, fix this thing. Do something with it. What are you gonna do? So we'll see. We're halfway through it. I'll probably come back. We'll talk about it again when it's wrapped up and see what they did with it. I'm really curious. My prediction, Anastasia is the red lightsaber person. Kind of ended a little bit, good cliffhanger. All the Jedi went flying and we know there's going to be a fight. So it should be interesting to see where that goes. But I don't know. So all in all, I would say Disney Star Wars, I have liked a lot of it. Some of it, has just been a little, it's been good, but not great. I guess I expected so much that maybe I got my hopes up too high for all of it, but we'll see. Didn't really talk about the animated stuff because I don't watch a lot of animated shows. I did watch the first season of The Bad Batch, and it was okay. I was going to watch the next season. I know it's out now, but I haven't watched it. I've seen parts of the Clone Wars. I've seen parts of Rebels. But honestly, I'm kind of lost in it because I've kind of just seen certain bits and pieces of it. But I may have to sit down and watch those one day. I don't know. But we'll see. So what are your thoughts? Am I wrong about the series? Because I probably like it more than most that go on here and do reviews. Even the Acolyte, I can't sit there and tell you I hate this show. I just think for $180 million budget, it should be better. It just, there's something lacking about. I'm not a movie maker. I don't know how to tell you to fix stuff, but I can just tell you it's to me it's lacking something that other shows have. You know, that kind of gravitas or whatever you want to call it. You know, so we'll see. I'm holding out hope, as I do with all Star Wars stuff. If it's Star Wars, I'm gonna watch it and come into it with an open mind and hope for the best. And we'll see. I've heard rumors that Rey's trilogy is going to continue, which I'd be good. I'd be cool with that. I like Rey. I thought Rey was a good character. I thought she was a little OP, especially during the Rise of Skywalker. I mean, she's flying over, she's doing backflips over TIE fighters and slicing the wings off of them and all that. Pretty advanced stuff, you know, for somebody that just kind of learned how to use the Force. But it's fun to watch. So let's just all take a breath. Don't take it too seriously. It's just a show. It's just movies. It's just, you know, and let's, you know, if we can find something we enjoy in it, let's enjoy it. Let's watch it and have a good time. If not, don't watch it. So anyway, we'll see. Star Wars, Disney. I'd give it out of 10 as a whole. I'm probably around the 7 mark. And so, again, that's probably kinder than a lot of people have been to it. So, we'll see. Take care.